Hi friends, Meg Atterbury here from Fox in the Forest. If you are looking for local pro advice on how to hike and where to hike in Colorado, you are in the right place. I have lived here for 15 years. I blog over at foxintheforest.net and I am an ex-professional writer for the outdoor industry. So if you're looking for super local hot tips for how to make your Maroon Bells hike the best it possibly can be, you are in the right place. Stay tuned because I've sprinkled some hot tips throughout this video about how to have your best chances at solitude, as well as a few local secrets for making the most out of your hike. As always, if you like this video, please take the subscribe button on a hike with you by clicking subscribe so you can get the latest from Fox in the Forest. The pictures and videos you're gonna see today, some of them were taken by me and some of them are stock. The last time I was here with a camera that was capable of handling today's video requirements, I was actually in a bit of a hurry because we had to climb up and over a snow-filled pass. And in order to do that safely, we had to get there early in the morning. It didn't have that much time for photography. First things first, there are two major ways to get to the Maroon Bells. Your first option is to leave from Aspen. You will take Highway 82 west out of town, and at that roundabout, take the exit for the Maroon Creek Road. It takes about 30 minutes. The other option is to head from Glenwood Springs. It's about an hour and 10 minutes. There are lots of rules and regulations for this area, and for good reason. It is super popular. This is one of the most beautiful places to visit in Colorado. You will be asked to show your parking permit. You will need a parking permit or a bus reservation. We're going to get into that in just a minute. And rangers will be checking if you have backcountry camping permits. We didn't get checked on the way out because again, we left really early, but on the way back, they checked our permits. There are also no drop-offs at the space, and dogs must be on a leash at all times. Also, you're required to pack out all of your trash, including dog waste. Be sure to bring bags to carry it with you. It is never okay to leave dog poop in a bag on the trail to pick up later. Just bring it with you. There is no swimming, boating, fishing, or supping on any of the lakes. The Maroon Lake trailhead closes every year in the winter because the road is not maintained during this time. Typically, this happens from November 15th through May 15th, but it can vary by year, so be sure that you check the show notes below for the resources you need to stay up to date with current openings and closures. The closing of the road adds a little over 6 miles one way to your day, or 12 miles round trip. I would never recommend coming up here in the winter unless you are extremely well versed in winter travel and you understand how to read avalanche terrain, as there are no services and no one will be there to help you if you get stuck. The next important thing to know, and unfortunately this is going to take a minute because it's a very complicated system, is how to reserve your spot to visit Maroon Lake. There are 3 main ways to visit Maroon Lake. You can get a parking pass through the Aspen Chamber, you can take a bus in through a RAFTA, or you can bike in. So in Aspen, a lot of people offer biking tours. E-bikes would be my recommendation since it is kind of a long ride and it is uphill. And if you're going to bike in, you do not need a parking reservation. However, I wouldn't recommend doing anything other than Maroon Lake since it is a big physical task. There are no shoulders or guardrails on the road, and you will be sharing it with cars. A lot of people here from out of town and they're busy looking at the scenery, and it can feel a little dangerous. So just keep that in mind, especially if you have smaller children and you plan on biking. Parking is available through the Aspen Chamber, and there are 4 types of parking passes. There is a day use pass that is ideal for people who want to visit during the day, so that's 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. They have a reservation window that you'll have to show up by. This is great for people who are looking to hike, but not going to be the best option for photographers. Evening parking is available from 5 p.m. till midnight, and this is best for evening and nighttime photographers or anyone who wants to see an amphitheater show. There is also a 24-hour pass. This is a pass that is good for 24 hours, but you must arrive before 8 a.m. This is really ideal for sunrise photographers, people who want to have more solitude on the trail, trail runners who are looking to do some of the bigger ultra runs that are available. And if you're booking them back to back, overnighters with backcountry permits can also use these passes. There is also a 72-hour pass for backpackers. Again, you must arrive before 8 a.m. And if you have the 72-hour pass, you need to park in the overnight lot. Parking is $10 per vehicle. or absolutely free with an America the Beautiful annual Parks Pass. More information about that pass is in the show notes. And then there's also a $2 processing fee. The other way is through the Raft-A-Bus. This is available on Memorial Day weekend through about mid-October, and there are 3 different reservation periods. On March 1st, you can get May to June reservations. These open up at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. April 1st, you can get July and August reservations. This opens up at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And on May 1st, you can get September to October reservations, which also opens at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. The bus runs from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily, and this will highly affect the amount of crowds you're going to see. So if you're taking the bus, you're going to be with more people. There are 3 different bus passes that you can purchase. There is a one-way downhill shuttle that goes from Maroon Lake to the Aspen Highlands, which is where the bus leaves and comes back to. This is best for backpackers and hikers who are going one way from Crested Butte to Aspen and don't want to return via the Maroon Creek Trail. It is a $10 per person pass. There is a round trip pass, which is ideal for day hikers who can't get parking permits and backpackers who want to start and end at Maroon Lake. This is $16 for adults, $10 for seniors, and $10 for children under 12. There are also some limited day of tickets, and these are much more expensive. They are $20 for adults, $15 for seniors, and $14 for children under 12. So you must park in the Aspen Highlands parking structure. If you're going to take the Raft shuttle, it is $7 per hour for up to $40, which honestly is extremely expensive. So your other option would be to take the free Castle to Maroon Raft shuttle to the Aspen Highlands. But again, you'll be taking 2 buses in and out of Aspen. In my opinion, the best way to see this is to just get a parking pass. All right, now to get into the actual hiking, the part you've all been waiting for. So there are several different options from hikes here. I'm gonna spend most of my time focusing on hikes that the average person will be doing in a day, but I am gonna touch on a few of the backcountry experiences as well. First of all, there's the Maroon Lake hike. This is a 0.7 mile round trip hike. It is extremely easy. It's about 5 minutes or so of walking. It is not a super accessible trail. It is a wide and flat trail, but it is dirt, so do keep that in mind. You'll also notice that there's going to be fencing around the lake so people don't get too far into the lake as it recedes. Be sure to respect that so you don't end up harming any of the scenery. The next hike you can take is the Maroon Scenic Loop. This goes to some rapids at the inlet of Maroon Creek on the far end of Maroon Lake. It is a 1.9 mile round trip hike. It is 160 feet of gain, and it is very easy. I highly recommend it if you just want to spend some time enjoying the scenery. This is a pretty cool hike because the Maroon Creek is really rapidy, and that's unusual for Colorado, so it's really nice to see. And if you're lucky, you may even get that brilliant blue color that is just fantastic to watch. The next big hike that people love to do, and this is just a continuation of the Maroon Lake and Maroon Lake Scenic Loop, is Crater Lake. Crater Lake is 3.5 miles round trip, and it's 688 feet of gain. Now, most people in Colorado consider this to be extremely easy. However, some say it is moderate, especially if you're visiting from out of town, you're not used to really rocky trails or uphill at altitude. So you're gonna continue up and you're gonna get to another lake that has a similar view but slightly different of the Maroon Bells. It is super duper beautiful, definitely worth doing. However, the trail is a bit rocky, and what I found the most surprising about this hike is that off to your right, you get these beautiful views of these really dramatic mountains. It's almost better than the Maroon Bells, if I'm honest, so be sure to check that out as well. And here's my big secret. Continue past the far side of the lake, following signs for Maroon Creek Trail, West Maroon Pass, and eventually the trail is going to start going up a rocky hillside. It's very well marked and very well maintained. Eventually this will level out and you will get this stunning bird's eye view looking down at Crater Lake. You're also going to get a peep at some of the other scenery in the Maroon Bells Wilderness. It's one of the most overlooked parts, I believe, of the trail. So definitely be sure that you check that out if you're feeling up for it. Just remember, it's going to add about another 1.5 miles to your journey. The trail continues from here to West Maroon Pass. It is 11.8 miles round trip and 3,142 feet of gain. It is considered very difficult. If you have done a Colorado 14er, this is very on par with what those feel like. You can continue onwards from here for another several miles and you would have completed the Crested Butte to Aspen hike. Most people take this as a one-night hike and they will hike to one of the towns, spend the night, and then come back the next day. The total mileage is 20.6 miles and it is 4,480 feet of gain. It's extremely difficult and shouldn't be attempted in a day unless you have plenty of mountain hiking experience. The last hike that I would recommend you do in a day, and it is again only reserved for very, very well-versed mountain hikers, is the Willow Lake Trail. This is 11.6 miles, 3,779 feet of gain. From Crater Lake, you'll follow signs to Buckskin Pass, and before you start climbing up towards Buckskin Pass, you'll head up north following signs to Willow Lake. It is very, very challenging, but extremely beautiful. The last big adventure that leaves from the Maroon Lake trailhead is the Four Passes Loop. And this is a combination trail that most people do in multiple days and should not be attempted to be done in one day unless you're an extremely skilled ultra runner. The Four Passes Loop is about 28 miles and it has 7,752 feet of gain. It is very difficult and most backpackers take 3 days to complete the loop. Again, you're gonna need a permit for that. It does go up and over 4 passes. You will do West Maroon Pass, Freerider Pass, Trailrider Pass, and Buckskin Pass. Those are all of your amazing hiking options while you're visiting the Maroon Bells. And if you're looking for more information on the backcountry trails and trips, please see my resources down below and get some more information on how to make those happen. Other things to do nearby. There is the town of Aspen. A lot of people love to visit Aspen. Personally, I don't. I find it to be crowded. There's a lot of traffic. It's hard to park. You have to pay for absolutely everything. And I usually skip it in favor of nearby Carbondale. I think Carbondale is a really cute little town. It has lots of amazing eateries and cute shops and a couple of nice coffee shops as well. It's just a better experience than Aspen. You can also drive Independence Pass to Leadville if you're looking for a really scenic mountain tour or a short little road trip. Another option for things to do is go for a soak in one of the hot springs in Glenwood Springs. Definitely something I always recommend. Who doesn't want to soak their tired, weary body after an amazing hike? The best time to visit the Maroon Bells is going to be at sunrise in the summer or fall. Weekends do tend to be more crowded than weekdays. However, crowds are about the same in the summer since many people are taking summer vacations. During the fall, Maroon Bells is one of the most popular places for fall colors. Even in the sunrise time slots, you're still gonna see quite a few crowds. Try to go during the week if you can, and if you're planning for this, just know that the fall color changing times highly depend on the rainfall that previous summer. So for planning purposes, I would recommend booking sometime during the 3rd week of September, as well as sometime during the 1st week of October. That way you can follow along with the weather throughout the year and then use the pass that works best for you. As a courtesy to other visitors, be sure to cancel the pass you plan not to use so other people can enjoy the Maroon Bells. The next best time to visit is going to be in July. June, a lot of the trails are still very snowy, so if you're just looking to visit Maroon Lake, it is entirely possible to do that. However, if you want to do some of the tougher trails, looking towards July is going to be a better bet for a little bit drier trails. However, keep in mind that afternoon thunderstorms frequently plague the Colorado Rockies, and therefore you want to make sure that you're down below tree line by 11 a.m. to stay safe. If solitude is what you seek, avoid visiting when the buses are running since that substantially ups the crowd factor. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have anything to add or any questions, hit me up in the comments down below. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel, and we will chat soon. All right, happy hiking.